Hey guys, Sirak here. Today we'll be doing an overview of one of my Lord of the Ring maps, the Battle for Middle-earth. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings with Age of Empires, you'll really enjoy this map. This map is a bit complex in that there's a lot going on, and everything name has an effect that is either beneficial for you, or for your enemy, or even both. And what I'll be doing in this first video of the Lord of the Rings series is covering the basics of the map. For new players, there's a ton going on all at once, and if you don't know exactly what's going on, you can easily be overwhelmed and lose important heroes or places, thus ending the game early. The first thing I would like to mention is the map's geography. Although not perfectly transposable to an actual Middle-earth map, everything in its proper place relative to each other. And yes, I'm aware of Lake Town, but I think I did a good job regardless. When you start the game, as any player, you will only see what belongs to you and your color. And this was made so that newer players know what belongs to them and where it's situated on the map. When you do build a market, you will see what your allies can see, and by deduction where your enemies will be. Isengard here is an exception because until minute 24 in-game, they will be allied to all the players, and thereafter will enemy the good team, so Gondor, Rohan, Dwarves, and Elves, and join up with the evil team Mordor, Goblins, and Evil Men for a 4v4. So do not be alarmed if the game starts with you having a team of 5. A lot of the map is blocked at the beginning, as shown here. Some parts of the map are blocked with rocks, blocking strategic paths to avoid hero rushes, for example. And with the in-game timer, they will all be released. You should start focusing on your economy early on. Some of the places are blocked off will most likely spawn villagers when those places are released, and I will cover those in each of the faction videos, so you don't really have to worry about them now. You can think of this map as a random map arena style with many bases. You cannot build monasteries, castle, docks, siege workshops, and towers. Gunpowder units as well as demolition ships are also banned from this map for lore and easier balancing reasons. You can also create cows from the TC. You will find that all the castles are named, as well as some of the buildings and certain towers will have also different names. Everything with a name is important, so keeping them alive on your side denies your opponent advantages such as buff, resources, or even units. You should be aiming to kill as many as you can of the enemy team while protecting your own. Certain places and heroes cause different things. What is most beneficial to you are listed in the objectives and hint section. So as you can see here, player 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as the extra quests for Mordor, Elves, Goblins, and all the way down to the 8 players. There's also what you need to kill here for each player, so you have the victory conditions in the scouts. So some of the quests you can actually complete by yourself, and some you'll need the help of your allies to complete. And usually, the harder the quest, better the reward. And when you do obtain a buff from the objectives page, or when you kill one of these, the buff is permanent and it will happen every 3 minutes. Your unique units, as well as any spawn units that you get, will have extra hit points over time. If you complete a quest that gives a one-time buff, any unit on the map at the time will obtain the buff, but new units created afterwards will not. You can choose to go for the ring, the relic, which is currently guarded by Gollum, which is here in the Goblin Tunnels. If Mordor is able to bring their relic to their monastery in Barad-dûr, here, Sauron is released upon Middle-earth. Alternatively, if the elves bring the relic to Rivendell, they obtain the Eagles and the Lord of Eagles. I will go into more detail in my faction videos, but if you lose all of your castles, some exceptions can apply, you will lose. The Shallows just above Mordor with all the skeletons, so this area right here. Any unit found in the Shadows will take damage every few seconds, so be wary. I would also like to note that the Shallows before crossing Rivendell, so this one right here, is quite deadly to the forces of evil that wish to cross if Elrond is in Rivendell. Lastly, it should be noted that your spawns and your unique units have different names, and as such, they will retain the stats of when they are created, and upgrades, like Bracer, for example, that are researched after they are created, will not apply if they are already on the field. The goal for either team is to complete as many quests as possible while denying the opposing team as many quests as they can. Most quests you are able to complete as a team usually leads to a victory or a defeat. And that's it for the overview of the map, and I will see you next time with the overview of the Mordor faction.